What's something a partner wanted to try that freaked you out at first but now you're into it? Breaking up. We haven't talked in years and it's amazing. Emotional intimacy. Taking me from homosexuality to homosensuality. Premarital eye contact. Haram intensifies. Choking. I didn't like the idea of it, but one girl really wanted me to do it, and seeing how much she was into it was enough for me to be into it. And avocados. My wife loves it when I put the blocks under her tires so her car doesn't roll. Really does it for us. I was really scared to ask my wife to try prostate play with me. Now it's her favorite way to give me handjobs. For guys who want to ask, so I'd suggest phrasing it as prostate play, and not anal. Might help smooth the convo edit. I wish it showed your top comments on Reddit. My other one was about eating shit. Gotta love it. Mods. No joke. I grew up with play honestly or it doesn't count, and even just upgrading graphics felt weird to me. Then he showed me Skyrim via mods and I'm in a throuple with Lucian Flavius and Inigo the Brave, destroying anything that stands in our way. I'm falling in love with the game all over again. Girl that I dated a long time ago liked to stick her fingers in my butt while we had sex or while she jerked me off. At first I freaked out, but eventually learned to love it. That was a long time ago. No one has played with my lonely pooper since. This first time a girl did this to me, she did so without warning. After the initial shock of a fingertip poking my bung, it was like, yeah, that's not bad. Cuddling. No joke, he was so doubtful that it'd do anything and now we do it every time we meet. He wanted me to spit in his mouth when we were having sex. Took me a while to work up the courage cause it felt weird and kind of degrading or something. But the times I went for it, he was so visibly into it. Still I could take it or leave it, but I came to appreciate the feeling of dominance and the sudden increase in passion it brought about. Wouldn't say I'm into it exactly, but an ex a long time ago wanted to give me a rim job, begged and begged, bargained and threw fits. She's a strange one, is the absolute nicest way to say it, was actually a bit pleasurable. Needless to say, she kept trying to go further with it and experiment more and more, and now nobody's allowed down there. She ruined a good feeling. Damn. Masturbating during video calls. Glad to hear I'm not the only one who does this and has learned to love it. Last time at work they had a video conference. Nobody knew that not only was I masturbating, but I was successfully keeping all 10 of the live scorpions in my pants pockets from falling out onto the floor. That takes skill. Another thing that freaked me out at first but I now love is Glory Hole Tuesdays, at my favorite suck spot. Also, one time I got drunk and fucked my ex-wife's mailbox slot as a tribute to our marriage. Doing our taxes together. Oh baby, yes, yes. Give me that itemized deduction. Give me all of it, all afternoon long. 1099 int, 1040EZ, 1095A, I love it longform with an attached W2. Oh god, that's sexy. This thread is wigging me out a bit. Most of the answers are sexual things about the butthole, then peppered here and there are RuneScape and spicy food. That's exactly how I like my butthole, peppered with RuneScape and spicy food. This is going to sound weird. But meatloaf. Eating meatloaf was not a thing I did until I met my partner. The meal or some kind of sexual reference? Sucking on my balls. I was used to getting blowjobs, good ones, from my previous relationship, but my current girlfriend said she preferred sucking on balls than dicks. I wasn't sure at first, but now it is legitimately the only way I like to get off. Her sucking on my balls and massaging them with one hand and slowly jerking me off with the other. I want to try this with my boyfriend, but I'm so scared of hurting him. They just seem so fragile and it freaks me out. Do you have any tips or should I just go for it? Lol. Being domineering. She straight up could not orgasm without some sort of physical or verbal domination. All the regular things like choking, hair pulling, spanking and smacking around was like mild for her. She wanted to be tied up, blindfolded and just used like a life-size fuck doll with no emotions. One time during a very hard anal session, she started bleeding. Now I understood her wants, but when I draw blood from an act of sex, I pretty much take that as a safe word. So I stopped and told her she was bleeding, and before I could even explain she yelled back in some sort of demonic possession voice, "Put it back in and fuck me till you come in my ass like a man." That made me want to tone it up a notch permanently. God damn, that ain't no freak of a girl, she a straight up demon. Hide and seek. Still can't find her anywhere. Making last minute plans. I have autism and last minute planning freaks me out. Vacations are usually planned months ahead. I pack my bag about a week before. Now I've already planned a romantic getaway for the two of us the week before, twice. It still is a little difficult for me, but I'm starting to like it more and more. Fiscal responsibility. Not having sex at all. Now I work 80-hour work weeks and it's great. Ouch. Sorry to hear that, mate. Lol. All this NSFW stuff and I'm over here playing Stardew Valley obsessively. This after having watched my husband playing and thought, why the hell is he spending so much time on this boring ass game? Yes. Me too. I supported my girlfriend loving the game but couldn't understand it. Then 2 days into a mandatory 2-week isolation I decided to give it a try. 30 days later, I am in fall of year 2, married, brewing beer, exploring caves, just finished the community center and wish I was playing right now. Going for walks. For the longest time I thought walks were just an inefficient mode of transit. Now I thoroughly enjoy them. Talking about my feelings. Bondage kinda stuff. Impact play. Some pretty hardcore role-play themes. Before I was with her, I was super vanilla guy. And honestly, 8 times out of 10, vanilla is still the preference for me. Good sex is amazing, either way. But if I have a partner who is into all that other stuff, I find it fun to indulge sometimes now. Definitely got into it with her. It's not my favorite, but it's fun as a way to switch it up a bit. Ultimately being with her took me from being a really vanilla guy to a fairly sometimes kinky guy. What's impact play? Anal. Now I finger his bum too. Having a joint bank account makes bills so much easier. We both still have our own accounts but we put all our monthly expenses in one account for autopay. Bondage. My GF is really into it and I get so turned on having no control and she can do whatever she wants to me. Sue can relate, ahaha. Fisting. At first it weirded me out and I felt like a shit ventriloquist, but seeing her get pleasure from it made me get into it. I had an ex who was into that. Or, so I thought. For some reason she thought I was into it, so I thought she was into it. Turns out neither of us were into it and we only did it because we thought the other was into it. A honest committed relationship. Rim job. Did not expect that at all. RuneScape. Fishing level? Ankle flashing. Harlot. Anal. Not me, but remember that guy whose wife got him into colon hydrotherapy with coffee? When your sex life has become so boring you make your husband do coffee enemas so you can stay awake during giving rim jobs. My dad's been trying to get me to eat eggplant. Bro, he massaged my eyebrows. I was like, what are you doing? But low-key, it was so tender and gentle. Affection makes me feel weird cause I've never had it. We only had one night together but I think about it all the time. Greater than he massaged my eyebrows. Crazy first night move. You guys are having sex? Yeah, why? Need us to give your mom a message? The trumpet. Licking the ass while masturbating. Edit. Didn't know it was called rusty trombone. In Spanish I've always called it la trompeta. Nice to learn it, Thai guys. Ah, the old rusty trombone. Watching porn together. He likes my feet, I dig it. TBH, I never understood why foot fetishes are so made fun of. I mean, you've got people into shit and piss. What's so weird about feet? They're just another body part. Pet play. She's into feral furry, and huge on pet play stuff. When she sprung it on me I wasn't into it at all. In fact the first 5 or so times we tried it I was barely hanging on between being creeped out and laughing. I guess it's because I've always had pets. I put my bravest face forward to make it fun for her though. Anyway, at some point it just clicked and I started to like it. She likes to pretend to be a cat, or a pony from MLP that she designed. We've spent at least $1,000 on accessories for her to wear at this point. Collars, leashes, tails, ears, saddles, custom-made everything. Sometimes it goes on past just the bedroom and before I know it I'm calling her by her pony name over her regular one. I have no idea where it will go. Once I started getting into it our relationship honestly got better than ever. Tail butt plugs too? I had an old lover who liked foot stuff. told my current boyfriend about it early in our relationship, in the context that I thought it was weird but I could see how someone would be into it. I mean, feet are sensitive, it makes sense, just isn't my thing. He and I are pretty adventurous, but after almost 4 years together I guess it's kinda sunk in for him. He's sort of leaned into it once or twice in the past year, you know, just briefly. But this past weekend he was like I want dem feet nom nom and then wanted me to reciprocate. Again, I am not personally into foot stuff, but I get the enjoyment. And I'll suck a few toes or have mine sucked for the sake of fun in the moment. I think it freaked him out before, but the more he thought about it, and possibly started watching related porn, the more he opened up to trying it. No harm no foul. Eating her ass. I was surprised she was into it and even more surprised when she managed to bend herself into a shape that allowed her to do it. Eating her own ass? Nutritional yeast on popcorn. Say what? Public sex. At first I was freaked out by the notion, but she knew of a clearing a little ways up a hiking trail that few people trafficked. There was one of those electrical boxes there and she bent over it. The air on your skin felt really awesome until a mosquito got me in the thigh, then it was time to pack it in. Rubbing our cheeks together sounds dumb and probably looks dumb too, but it felt good. Face or ass. Getting married. Being submissive. I'm a rather large guy and at the time did not have a lot of experience in the bedroom, so naturally I tried being dominant and basically live up to my appearance. When she told me she likes being dominant I was hesitant but I learned that I'm a lot more comfortable being the submissive one. Eventually I didn't even want to dom her when she was feeling subby, of course I did though. Also the feeling of wearing a collar and being called a good boy is amazing. Sacrifice. My wife is a little weird, and she really wanted to make sex more primal. So she bought this UV lamp and a magnifying glass on Amazon, and a bunch of ants. She'd create this enclosure made of cardboard on our bed that the ants couldn't crawl under, kind of like Attack on Titan's walls. Then she'd turn on the lamp, and burn them to a crisp with the magnifying glass right on the bed, leaving a pile of ant ashes and limbs. Then she'd slowly strip down, starting with her top, all while quietly, jollily singing, "Ants. Ants. So many ants. Her breasts are out now, ants. Ants. No more ants." Now she's naked, dipping her finger in the ant ashes, and whispers, "Stop trolling people on Reddit." I'm not even mad, I'm just relieved this isn't real. Not really partner but a friend who I hooked up with a lot. At first I usually just blow him till he nutted but then he suggested doing anal with me for the first time, in public. I was scared at first but I then started to love taking the risk cause I thought that it was really hot. I adored my ex, fantasized about walking her down the aisle, on a beach, in a sunset, and then, during foreplay, she asked me to slap her face. I was shocked, I was terrified. How could I hurt her when I love her so much? It was like someone had asked me to commit a crime against humanity. Then she asked again, pleading. Then I slapped her across her face. The boy in me died that day. I almost had tears in my eyes while she was moaning. With every slap I made, it felt like someone boxed me back, right into my chest. I was so confused. After light slapping and going a bit harder, I felt undiscovered arousal coming up. The power. The submission. It triggered so much in me and stayed with me since. Fast forward till today, we are no longer together but this dominance kink remained. All my past partners, who had the same kink, were sexually amazing because of that. Women always felt I was their sanctuary, fantasy-wise. We live in a weird world but it's a hell of fun. I haven't found a single girl yet who doesn't like at least some slight slapping. Maybe I just attract a certain type, but they all like to be dominated. As a man, being handcuffed. I was very opposed to it when it initially happened but grew fond of the idea very quickly, like less than 5 minutes fast. Mind you I prefer the girl being handcuffed most of the time, but every once in a while it's nice to lose some control. Tax fraud. Bad parenting. Get over here you little shit I'ma whip that ass. She wanted to hold my hand the filthy harlot, I thought what's next? Showing some ankle. I'm glad you guard your chastity. Pegging me. It's fucking great. Public sex for quickies. My first ex was as horny as they come and it didn't matter where or who was around. If it could be done secretly she wanted it. At first I was really freaked out and terrified, you know, expecting someone to see us or catch us, etc. But I was young, dumb and well, getting laid. Those thoughts perished quickly after a few times, and it became an exciting race to see if I could satisfy her before anyone caught on. Second ex got me into BDSM as she discovered she was a sub and was into being dominated. It escalated until we had a S&M dynamic both in and outside the bedroom. She had one request I flat out denied, and that was she wanted to be tied up, blindfolded and used like a sex doll without condom by me. And any other guy the first approved off. That was a no-go, and honestly it didn't come as a surprise when eventually I found out she was cheating on me and broke up with me for the other guy, even if she'll say she broke up because it wasn't working between us anymore.
Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.